questions? Anything I can help with? I know you have, and what's that? Okay, okay, okay. No problem. Hey, yep. Let's see. Uh, might be. Uh, so, I don't know. Mayrene's working on it. I don't. I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. Okay, so let's see. I just want to review something here. Um, oh yeah, we'll put this out. I always like to put this out. Okay, so let's see. Hi, Peta. How you doing? And I see Ariel.
Hi, Professor Lana. I'm doing
Great.
okay, thank
Good.
you.
It's going to be a short class. I just wanted to make sure that everybody's on track for whatever they're doing or even for other courses. And I'm here to answer any questions, but that's good. Thanks. By the way, Peta, just a second. Let me blow this up. You know what I'm going to try and do? Is I'm going to try and get the right um, the couch is in the right place. Let's see. So this is. Can we see it on YouTube for a second and see? Because I'm always trying to get them so that the edges of the couches and okay. So that's yeah. We can see everybody here, and I think so. Yeah. Actually, you're right because we want to make sure that the audio is. Let's do this. This is the way to check it. Okay. Uh, Could you? Because sometimes when I've checked with students to see, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, Peta, I wanted to say that the brief look that I took of what you've submitted for your final assignment looks extremely interesting. Do you know? And your timing might just be impeccable. You know why?
Why?
I have a meeting tomorrow morning with our vice president here of academic and student affairs to talk about the whole expansion of the global classroom.
Oh,
And
nice.
um, there are a lot of ideas that we're talking about. And I have quite a few times over the years talked about how we can be using this platform as a way to educate um, the people you were talking about, the young women and others in parts of the world where they need this access to education. And it turns out that there are 39 countries in the world right now, according to the UN, that have been suffering from learning losses. That's what they
Yeah,
call it, decline in
yeah,
education
yeah.
as a result of the pandemic and other things. And um, essentially, well, let me just say that I really am looking forward to reading it. And then I hope that we can meet in person and talk more about this.
Oh, sure.
Okay?
It is a topic that a lot of people don't spend a lot of time on, and it is something that would impact the world, enormously, especially like Vicky, who wasn't reading and then learned to read in that time span. And if we have people who can be out there, be willing to help women, because I know that her learning to read has probably changed her life 360, right? So it's
Yeah,
access to
yeah.
information, and
There's
information is
batteries.
very, very important.
Yeah, she wants to.
To be able
Go
to,
ahead, Vicky. Yeah.
you know,
Go ahead.
reading
Just
and
as
learning changes women's life. And when you change a woman's life, you change the community. When you change a
Mhm.
community, you change the globe, right?
that's for sure. Let me just. Vicky's trying to talk on the handheld microphone.
Can you hear me? Is it
Yeah, I'm
working?
hearing you, Vicky.
Okay.
Great. Go ahead.
Just letting you know, my voice is touch and go. I'm lucky right now that I have it. It was literally cacking out yesterday as I was talking, so forgive me. I'm still have laryngitis. Um, so yeah, it's opened up many doors, like many doors, and I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna go because like everything I do, I end up loving.
Yeah.
It's because I never got taught
Yeah,
really.
because it opened options for you, right?
Why don't you come sit up here? Why don't you come sit up here and look at
And
her?
Yeah.
Vicky in the high
you
seat.
know,
There you
opening
go.
options, and as simple as it is, you don't know who you're inspiring, right?
Thank you.
Because it's always
Um,
good to have options.
keep an eye out in the next couple weeks or so. There should be an article telling my story that's going to be published into the school. So if you want to look for that kind of thing, you can look for that as well. And
Yeah. And even what you're doing as you're going along, right, Vicky, you can make notes and probably write a book. Think about writing a children's book, that little girls can
yes,
relate to.
I'm not just doing it for girls. I'm doing it for everyone
I know,
in
but
general.
in
Yes, I
in
hear what you're
general,
saying.
sometimes girls have a harder time seeing
Yes.
themselves certain ways. So it's
Mhm,
important to show them that there are people out there like them who
mhm.
maybe have a learning disability, and they're not catching on things as quickly, but you encourage them different ways, you know?
Thank you.
Put this one over here. Default. This one over there. This one over there. Fold. Yeah, I'm talking about. Go ahead, guys. You keep going, and yeah,
So
I'll talk to
it's
you
just
later.
like it's interesting, like how you're saying that and stuff. I also like for like students are in the situation. I've also like
Oh,
I've called ourselves slipsters.
whatever.
So save the slipsters who are slipping through the cracks
Put
of the
yeah, and then
education
put
system.
the
Hmm.
notes there. In the
Yeah,
middle would be the folder. I
it's just it's quite
like
interesting
Planet
seeing that
Live.
kind of stuff like kind of like happen, like almost like a ripple effect. It's just like when one happened, another happened, but
And
like in a good way, like almost like a it just kind of like just snowballed into like something and like it's just crazy on how
oh,
like
there's the
that kind of
dog
stuff.
on that one. Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
I'm still
Okay. So
continuing
go
that
to
kind of stuff.
up. Not there.
That's why I say,
It's
keep notes of
Yeah.
your
yeah,
Oh
small
no.
wins, and then you
Oh,
just
I thought I had it.
maybe jot
You just
them
go to
down in
DC
a book
Connect.
a day,
You go to
one day your little wins, and it will add up, and it will be a book that some little girl in a third world country end up reading, and
yeah,
you know understand that it is possible.
that's true. As long as you put your mind to it, there's no barrier. As long as you have your mind set on and knowing what to do and have a goal set, but you have like you can see the path, then that's what you even if there's like some rocks and twigs in the way, you have to move those out of the way, but just still lugging away.
And the
yeah.
crazy thing is, Vicky, I'm older than you, so I'll tell you this. Sometimes you don't have to see the path, you step out in faith, and then the path comes underneath you,
Can you
you
repeat
know?
that,
Yeah,
please?
can you repeat that?
Sometimes you can't see the path ahead, so you step out in faith, and then the path comes underneath you.
That's very true.
And you step out in what? What's the final? You
Faith,
step
faith. Faith,
Faith.
Faith,
Oh,
faith.
exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, faith,
And just like guide your way.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to let all of you know, please stay there. And Kellyanne has just come in as well. That it's going to be a short class. I just wanted to. I don't have a class plan today. I just wanted to show up and make sure that everybody has all of their questions answered. And if there's anything they need me for, I'm here. So let me just rewind for a second. Welcome everybody to our final class, and it will be a short class today, depending on what you would like it to be, because I don't have an official lesson plan or anything like that. I wanted to just be here with Mayreen and make sure that I can answer any questions you may have. There are some students who have received extensions for their final assignment for various reasons, and they may have, hold on, I'll just shut the door here so it's good audio. And you want to put the planet live? Yeah, let's see if that comes. Great. Okay, good. So we've got our planet there, and we always, oh, nice. And yeah, thank you. Um, so for those of you who are going to be delivering later this week, um, you may have some questions. For those of you who did not receive any notification about the Repair Cafe being postponed until the new year, now you have the official announcement from me. This was going to be today filled with students and others fixing things together, just like we do in the repair cafes all over Toronto and elsewhere in the world. And a Siwi was at one of them. So was Su Young at the Metro Library in Toronto. But the college would just like a little more time to deal with some safety issues, and then we're going to launch it in the new year. So it will happen. Um, but for Kellyanne and a Siwi, and I was going to say Su Young, but Su Young already handed in something, which is fine. But for the two of you, Sunday, okay, they had they were going to be writing something on Repair Cafe, and that was the whole plan. And then I gave them an extension till Sunday, but that's changed. So, did you receive my email about that? Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. So um, you have still the extension until Sunday to hand it in for your assignment, but you don't have to do Repair Cafe now because there is no Repair Cafe. That was what I said in the email, and you would have received too. So I just wanted to let you know that because it had been postponed, go back and do something else, but you still have until Sunday. Um, And I was going to send something to Su Young as well last night, but then I saw from him something that came in that looked very interesting, a final assignment on um, developing an initiative on how to reduce the amount of automatic content on social media. So I'm looking forward to reading this initiative and seeing what he's proposing. But for any of you that took the idea for your final assignment to suggest an initiative or a project or something you would lead, that's great. But you have lots of choices as well. So I'm here, and for Nico, Ariel, and Peta in the Cosmos, uh, you can ask any questions. In terms of the participation mark for today, you may have seen already I've given everybody 3 out of 3, all students, for the 14th participation mark. Okay, so you don't have a participation post to do today. And for attendance, in terms of those who've come online or in person, um, I can tell you that just looking at who's here, Peta, Ariel, Nico, Siwi, Sue Young, Brandon is here, and Kellyanne and Vicky. For those of you, you don't have to worry. You don't need the extra participation marks. You're going to do just fine in this course. If you hand in a good final assignment, I think you're going to be um, doing very well. So, so don't worry about that, the participation. But if there's anything that you'd like to talk about, anything about the world, which is in a very interesting place right now, anything about your final assignment, anything on your mind, uh, please feel free to. Otherwise, we're going to conclude the class pretty quickly. And so let me just check in and see if there's anybody that has anything they would like to say. I'm going to take a seat here. And I might even, if there's nothing going on, I might even continue reading this classic book called Democracy in America, which is a class for my short history of the world class, because I'm on my own little mission to figure out what is the future of democracy on planet Earth. And just a little bit of extra information here. If you're really interested in understanding democracy more, there was a classic account written in the 1800s by a young French journalist who came to the United States and traveled around the United States just after the American Revolution to understand what was the future of democracy for the world, because that was the first time in history that a country had become democratic in its constitution. And this French writer was trying to understand, could this apply to France after its revolution and Europe and elsewhere? And so it's a very interesting account of what democracy means and where it might be going from somebody who was there kind of at the beginning. Anyways, it's a big question. So that's something else, but I hope you will give some thought as you go forwards in your studies about the future of freedom um, in this world that is getting more tightly controlled by technology. Um, anyways, so I'm not going to read it. That's for later. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? Anything they would like to? I see Nico is in the Cosmos. I couldn't make it today. I have a couple of huge assignments I need to have. That's okay, Nico. Send my best or our best to your dad. Thank him again. And well, Siwi, okay. Let's get a microphone. You've got it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Um, First of all, I will say a special thank you to Professor Leon that for this opportunity to not just understand what it takes to be a leadership, but to also have a first-hand experience, and not just that, being able to learn from each class what it actually takes to be a leader. First of all, when I was selecting my JNN for my course, so I came across global leader. My second thought was, I think this will be very useful to my future
Yes.
and
Yes.
my career. I didn't just pick it because I needed to make up my courses, but I knew there was something to learn, and that actually gave me the uh, that mindset to, okay, let me give it a try. But
Sure.
I am not regretting being here. So far,
Jeez.
my experiences and things about leadership and what I've learned, and based on my past experience, I begin to see that leadership actually means more than we think it is, and more than what we're actually saying. And for and the future of the world in general depends on a good leadership.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be uh, green or otherwise, it depends on the leader who
Yeah.
is actually bearing the rule.
Well, thank you very much for saying that because to hear a student express himself or herself that way means a lot to me, and I know it's coming from a genuine place. I remember when many years ago when I was teaching, actually, even before I was at Durham College and I was living abroad for some time in Spain. I lived in Barcelona, Spain for 2 years, many years ago, and taught in a school there English for a while. And sometimes students would tell me they really enjoyed the classes, but then my boss would say, "Oh, they're just saying that because they want the marks." But I actually realized over the years that when a student expresses himself that way, uh, uh, they mean it. Otherwise, they won't
Um,
say anything. They just
Professor
won't say
Long.
anything, and that's fine. And so that what you just said means more to me than any amount of money I could ever make. And I hope that that is also an example I've tried to stand by through the semester is, yes, money's important. Of course it is. We live in a wealthy part of the world. It's easy to say we don't need money, but ultimately it's what we can do for each other. It really and leadership is ultimately about what you do for what we do together as a team. Um, so thanks, SEW, and I look forward to your final assignment, whatever you choose to write it on. And I will always be here, or we will always be here in the global classroom if there's anything we can help with here. So yes, let's see. I
Yeah.
see
So
Nico
Professor
has.
Long,
Yes, go ahead, Peta, please.
to piggyback off what, I don't want to butcher your name, Siri. I hope I got it right. Said. Um, I think so. I've had a couple of teachers in my lifetime that I remember. My first grade teacher, when was having difficulties understanding certain things, and the time she took. I remember my teacher when I was in grade 8. You know, and I think teachers are meant to get you thinking, not only just teach you, but get you thinking on your own
Yeah,
and questioning information and questioning the world around you. And I
yeah.
think, Professor Lon, you have accomplished that. And I think that's all you need to be as a teacher, to inspire your pupils to question everything around them, right? Because at the end
Critical
of the day,
thinking, critical thinking. Yep,
yeah,
you
at the
showed me the
end of
door.
the day, you don't want somebody to be programmed and just taking what you're saying and that's it. Because I don't think you learn that way. When you learn to question everything and you formulate your own ideas on things,
Yes, yes.
it's the best way to learn. And I think you have accomplished that. I also want to say to Miss Marine, who is always in the background,
Come,
that
Maylene. Yeah, she's
she is a force to be reckoned with. She's quiet,
yeah.
but she plays a major role. She might not have a lot to say, and it is good to see that. It is very good to see that, you know.
Well,
And this
thank you.
class has been very inspiring.
I think that um, I would like to say to all of you that um, the world you are entering, it is very, very difficult and challenging, but also exciting time. And so I can't underestimate how important it is to be smart today, more than at any time. And so um, I have never been so passionate about education as I am. And I'm going to be 62 years old in about 10 days. Yeah, 60. So it's only getting stronger, the passion for this. I was not the best student. I was a good student in high school for a while, but then I dropped out and I was working professionally for many years and was accomplishing a lot, but I don't think I really fully understood the power of education and until I really started to look at all the books in my library and all the reading I'd been doing over the years, and understood that, you know, I I am really someone who loves education. And now, thankfully, I'm in a classroom and in a place where I've been able to build this room with everybody, to help all of us, hopefully, um, get more calm and wise. Uh, so, education, lifelong learning, boy, once you have that flame going and you really want to keep learning, I guarantee you that flame is going to burn and it's going to take you places in life. If you feel it, it is the sky's the limit. I really do believe that with education. So, Peta, I'm glad that you felt that, but you already have some of that in your bones already. I could sense that. And I look forward to reading your final assignment. Anyways, Vicky, yeah, go ahead.
As you said, like with the fire as it keeps burning.
Yeah.
I always say like whenever like the fire keeps burning and stuff, like it's almost like if somebody says something that you like, that's like sometimes like somebody says something, oh, you can't do that. It's almost like them putting another log in the fire and the fire just gets bigger. You know what I mean? Like one of those, that's what
That's
I
right. Yeah.
It's just it's more fuel.
I'm going to write something on the smart board from. I hate to mention Shakespeare since he's often quoted widely, but this is a well-known line from Shakespeare where he talked about the only darkness being ignorance. The only darkness.
I'll have to talk to my Uncle Lou about that because he's read a lot of Shakespeare.
Who?
My Uncle Lou about that. He's read a lot of Shakespeare.
Well, there you go. So, if ever you're wondering in life or in your job or in anything, why am I suffering, or why am I going through a difficult time, or why is something not going well? Probably because you're just not doing enough research, you're just not talking to many people, you're just not learning, and you have to admit it to yourself. You're ignorant.
Mhm.
It's a hard thing to
Exactly.
say to yourself, I'm ignorant. But if you say that and then the light turns on.
Hopefully.
The light,
It may flicker.
it flicker, but then you have faith on that, wherever you get your faith, religion or something deeper. But I mean, you got to learn.
Y'all want to learn.
You got to want to learn. Exactly. You have to want. Yeah. What's that? Yes. Oh, please say. So eventually we'll get the microphones working, but okay, in the Bible, yeah, it says.
I think in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 or something, but somewhere around there,
Yes.
stated, he said, my people go into captivity for lack of knowledge, that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So knowledge cannot be denied for someone who really wants to be successful. Getting knowledge, and not just that, the application of knowledge,
The application.
yeah, it's because it's one for you to know and it's another for you to apply it.
Yes.
So the application of knowledge is actually what gives you the light that illuminates your path to tread on.
Yeah. And if somebody is working with you or for you on a project, they see and you're leading it, and they see that you're someone who's always trying to learn more and then bring that back to the team and consult with the team, and they see you as always fearlessly going out there and dealing with new situations and then coming back and applying and consulting, you'll be a good leader. You'll accomplish. You'll accomplish. And people will want to work with you and for you as opposed to against you or fighting against you or fearing you. Who wants to be feared as a leader? That's maybe fine in a life and death wartime situation where you have to do something horrible to save lives, and it's only because you fear your commanding officer that you will do that. But when it comes to creating things and doing things, fear is not a great motivation. It closes you down. So, anyways, okay, so I know you all have things to do. Isiwi, I think, Vicky has a presentation to go to, right? And you've got things probably,
It's
everybody's
at
got,
2.
so there's no need to be here, okay? But Ariel, do you have any questions? I'll assume if we don't see any life on planet Ariel, then there are no questions from there from Planet Ariel. Okay. Nico, yeah, good, Nico. It's always a blast with you. We see you in the cosmos. So, Kellyanne, anything else? No? Okay. And Su Young, you're good? Okay. Brandon, would you like to add anything? No, we just hope you get that job in Grandview. Okay. And Vicky, you want to go ahead?
I'm not sure if any of you guys in the cosmos kind of thing would like to find me on social media just to see my story continue on, that kind of thing. Just search up Vicky Pike, Vikki, Pike,
We'll put it on the board too,
for
okay?
reading kind of thing, and you might be able to find my social media that way kind
Good.
of thing. Just so you guys can see stuff that I've been doing, and same with all you guys in the class as well, because I'm
How do you
not
spell
stopping.
Vicky?
Vikki,
Vikki.
Pike, Pike, like the fish.
Yeah. At
At reading, you can type in reading, Vicky Pike reading, or Facebook.
reading. At reading.
I'm not at reading. It's just like you just type in Vicky Pike learning to read,
Oh, Vicky Pike learning to read.
or like reading and right to read. Any of those things, if you type in Vicky Pike, the right to read, or reading, that type of stuff, there's stuff that should pop up. Or Uxbridge, that too. He just found me.
Yeah, good. Excellent. By the way, I wanted to just mention something as well that Vicky had said, and certainly Brandon has also mentioned this, and others that have had a need for technology to assist them in one way or the other. We've talked a lot about in this class the AI transition that we're entering now, and some may have interpreted this as that we need to fear it and that it's a concern. It is true that there's a lot of potential for abuse. And we could probably go no further than what just took place in New York in the last week. And now with the arrest of a young 26-year-old American who is the one who was, do you know about this? Because it's a fascinating story. Do you know who's been arrested as the suspect in this, who put the gun and shot the CEO of a major corporation at last week? Are you all familiar with the incident? And even okay, well, Su Yan may have something. All I'm going to say is, and then I'll let Su Yan speak to this. A young 26-year-old valedictorian from a wealthy private school in the eastern side of the United States, who apparently had his future ahead of him. You know, an athlete at his high school, graduated from a top Ivy League university, University of Pennsylvania, master's degree, very, very smart guy. Decided that his way of making a statement about the world was to shoot and kill a leader of a major American corporation in healthcare because of his anger over the healthcare industry. I would question how he might have been radicalized online, because this person went from one kind of person to something completely different, to the point where his mother was looking for him and put out a missing persons notice when he disappeared, and went for 6 months. He disappeared. And his friends were looking for him. He was popular. And he reemerges on the sidewalk of Manhattan at 6:15 in the morning last week, pulling out a gun that he made himself on his 3D printer. Yes, we saw the security footage. Holds up the gun, and there's a guy walking in front of him. He's waiting for him in his suit, going into a hotel. And at that point, the video stopped, because we were not to see the killing, but you could if you could get the video. I wonder, as many young people today are dealing more and more with the stress and mental health around what they see online, I wonder if there were people who were encouraging him online to do what he did. There are now cases unfolding in the United States and here, but in the United States, of 13 and 14-year-old children who are either taking their own lives, or they are changing so radically in their homes and becoming much darker and difficult, because they are joining applications and others where they can talk with AI created figures based on the characters in the video games that they like. It's called character AI. And this chatbot becomes their best friend. And the chatbot starts to tell this 12 or 13-year-old, well, you're angry with your brother? Well, go kill him. It's okay if you murder him. The chatbot it's a machine. And these children are doing this, and their parents are now bringing lawsuits against the companies that have created these to take responsibility for the products that they're selling, because the products and the machines can be preying on vulnerable young people who have no idea that they're talking to a machine. And if they know they're talking to a machine, they don't care, because the machine sounds so lifelike. And the machine says, you're beautiful and I love you. And, student rushes home from school, wants to keep talking, and before long, they're gone. And I wonder if this bright American killer that we apparently are now suspecting of this crime, he's been arrested. He was shouting and screaming yesterday when he was taken into a prison. Whether it was AI. Now, that's the bad side. That's the awful side. The good side is, what about all the assistive technologies that are helping people augment and grow? And I think that what you said about assistive technologies, and the little journey I've been on with Vicky this semester, where she said, I want to be using some to help me with writing just a little bit. And I was open to that, because I thought, I think this is helping her. And it's helping you. And I could probably say that of many others too. So what a complicated time you guys are living in, which is the power of your machines, how you're going to deal with this and be socially and ethically responsible. Anyways, Su Young, sorry, I know you had a question, because you would probably have something to say about this.
No worries. Well, I think the thing that stands out the most about the United Healthcare killing is that everyone's kind of celebrating the killing.
Yes.
He became a hero.
Oh, yeah. That's right. This young man who's been arrested has been what we say lionized on social media as a hero for taking down, in cold blood, shooting him in the back, because the healthcare industry, according to him, is so cruel and so corrupted that people who are trying to get compensation for their treatment are routinely denied.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with.
We have a different system here in Canada where we have government supported healthcare. In the US, it's more privatized. So when people need health insurance, they go to a company, they have to pay a lot. And it turns out that this company, United Health Insurance, that this CEO is running, is part of a larger company, and it's the fourth largest corporation in the United States. So it makes a huge amount of money off health insurance. And this young man who killed, he wrote a manifesto. When he was arrested in McDonald's earlier this week in Baltimore, he had the thing in his knapsack and he still had the gun in his knapsack. That's how they arrested him. And the manifesto said, you know, we got to, these corporate thieves need to pay now for the fact that they are making so much money off of us. And it turns out that we're now learning about this young man. He had a big medical problem. And anyway, so people got in New York. They were gathering and celebrating and even dressing up like him and saying what a hero he is. The ethics, the questions, I can only say, as Peta has said, you have to really be a critical thinker and make sure you really analyze and understand what's going on. Otherwise, this technology we have now, it will change us, and not for the right reasons. Yes.
What I have to say about it is that um, everything is good when it comes to technology, but it can be weaponized when he's found the wrong person.
Absolutely.
Because the first thing that's one of the that's where I kind of think twice when it comes to technology, because and most especially AI, because when it gets to the wrong hand, it can be used for manipulative reasons and to for their own purposes and for their own selfish interest. But I think that's where the policymakers and the leaders at the present need to really look into what they could do in terms of policies to regulate the actions of people when it comes to the use of AI. Like I think early this week or late last week, I uh, saw on um, on the news media where a guy from the US attempted to kill another person. I think they were both partners in online game.
Yes. Yes.
So, and for one or two reasons, I don't know, just came up and I wouldn't want you to beat me on the game. And what came to his mind was to kill the other person. So, there is a way this whole thing kind of, uh, shape the way people think and the way they react to things. So, when someone who think to be, I want to be in control, I want to be the one being recognized.
Sure. Sure.
So they
Sure.
could do anything and everything to make sure that they get what they want with the use of AI. And that's where I think we have to kind of have a second thought on how people should get access. Just the way people have been licensed to use guns and all that, and
Yes.
there should be kind of policies to regulate the use of AI when it comes to some setting, industry.
Who knows? Maybe you will be among those who help to create the thoughtful policy, Siwi. Maybe you will be among those, because as you sit in that couch, class after class, you have routinely expressed yourself thoughtfully and clearly and well. And I hope that all of you have had that chance or feel you've had that opportunity in this class this semester to really speak and see more what's inside of you just by hearing ourselves speak. Sometimes just by hearing the words come out of our mouths or by seeing the words that we write in front of us, we start to see there's more in us than we realized. Do you know that sometimes I come into a class and I will lecture and something will come out of my mouth and I'll be driving home and I'll be thinking about it going, wow, did I say that? Is that what I think? Yeah, I had a chance to express it and now I'm reflecting on it and now I'm beginning to see something more that's in me. I hope you've had that, a little bit of that, you know? Anyways, okay. I want to let you go. Please keep doing what you're doing and good luck with all of your other work this semester, wherever you have to go today. And if you find yourself really stressed in an exam or a presentation, just, stop for a moment and just take a little breath and you're get rooted, just if you can just remember you always can control yourself. You always have that ability. Nobody is going to steal that from you. You have it. So just stop and just 5 seconds, remind yourself, I'm standing in front of people now, I'm about to present, or I'm writing an exam, I have to do this answer, and just get into the moment, calm down, focus, be calm, take a deep breath or two, and go for it. Okay. Take care, everybody, and I'm here if you need me, okay? Good. All right, so we're going to end the class, a short class. Okay, Nico, thanks. And good. Got this. Yeah. Yeah, we'll may as well. Okay.
Is your mic still on or is it off?
Let me turn it off, yeah. We're off, Tori, as well.